Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm your boy Numbskull, and today, before I get into my Ambien, we're diving into a substance that carries massive cultural weight, but is often poorly understood on a pharmacological level. Methaqualone, better known by its very famous brand name, Quaalude. For many people, Quaaludes live more in pop culture than in neuroscience. They're tied to a 1970s nightlife, disco floors, celebrity excess, and that unmistakable Ludes mythology. But underneath the legend is a sedative hypnotic compound with a very specific mechanism of action and a subjective profile that explains why it became so popular in the first place. Let's break it down. Methaqualone belongs to the quinazolinone class of sedative hypnotics. First synthesized in the 1950s, it was introduced as an alternative to barbiturates for insomnia and anxiety and marketed under names like Quaalude and Soport. That actually comes from the Latin word like stupor, it means like sedated, sleep, whatever. Pharmacologically, methaqualone is a central nervous system depressant that modulates the GABA-A receptor complex. GABA is the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. When its signaling is enhanced, neurons become less likely to fire, producing sedation, muscle relaxation, and anxiolysis. Methaqualone increases chloride ion influx through GABA-A receptor channels, hyperpolarizing neurons and decreasing excitability. The result is a shift toward inhibition across multiple brain regions, cortical, limbic, and motor systems. Where methaqualone differs from benzodiazepines is in how it interacts with the GABA-A receptor. Benzodiazepines bind to a specific benzodiazepine site, producing relatively selective enhancement of inhibition. Methaqualone, however, acts at a different modulatory site and can produce broader, less selective potentiation, subjectively described as heavier, warmer, and more physically immersive. That distinction is key to understanding its reputation. It doesn't just take the edge off of anxiety, but rather it can create deeply embodied, slowed down states where muscle tone drops, tension dissolves, and the body feels weighted or rubbery. Subjectively, methaqualone was often described. My bad. I think I wrote prescribed on accident on my script here. It was often described as producing a warm, spreading physical relaxation, emotional ease and lowered social inhibition, slowed speech and reflexes, a melting of floating sensation, and reduced internal tension. At stronger levels, the experience becomes distinctly intoxicating. Coordination decreases, balance can become unstable, and cognition slows quite noticeably. For some individuals, that full-body impairment was part of the appeal, a deliberate descent into heavy sedation while remaining aware of the shift in state. The key distinction is that intoxication itself is not inherently pathological. It's a spectrum. The meaningful variable is context, awareness, and environment. From a pharmacokinetic perspective, methaqualone is lipid-soluble and crosses the blood-brain barrier quite efficiently. Effects tend to last several hours, with possible residual grogginess depending on individual metabolism and total exposure. Like other depressants, its dose-response curve is nonlinear. Small increases can produce disproportionately stronger sedation, especially when layered with other CNS depressants. Combination use is where the real physiological risk emerges. Because methaqualone enhances GABA-mediated inhibition, pairing it with alcohol, opioids, or other depressants compounds respiratory suppression. Each substance contributes to reduced neuronal firing in brainstem respiratory centers. When inhibitory tone stacks, breathing can slow beyond safe margins. Used in isolation and in controlled settings, the primary effects are sedation and impairment. When combined irresponsibly, risk increases significantly. Tolerance and dependence follow the same neuroadaptive principles seen with other GABAergic depressants. Repeated exposure leads the brain to compensate by reducing receptor sensitivity. Over time, more of the substance is required to produce the same subjective state. Abrupt cessation after sustained heavy use can result in withdrawal symptoms such as anxiety, tremors, insomnia, and in severe cases, seizures, reflecting the nervous system rebounding from prolonged inhibition. This doesn't make methaqualone uniquely dangerous. but it places it firmly in the depressant category alongside barbiturates and certain modern sedatives. Historically, methaqualone's trajectory followed a classic arc. It was widely prescribed, became socially popular beyond medical settings, developed a strong nightlife association, and was eventually placed under strict control in the United States. Its cultural mythos often overshadows the straightforward pharmacology. It is a potent sedative hypnotic that enhances inhibitory tone in the brain in a broad, immersive way. Compared to modern benzodiazepines, many historical users describe methaqualone as less clinical and more enveloping. Benzodiazepines tend to feel cleaner and more targeted at anxiety reduction. Methaqualone often felt heavier, more somatic, and often overtly intoxicating. That immersive quality is neither mystical nor mysterious. It reflects widespread GABA-A modulation across motor and limbic circuits. When you zoom out, methaqualone represents a clear example of how increasing inhibitory signaling reshapes consciousness. Anxiety quiets, muscles relax, vigilance drops, motor precision declines, and at higher levels the body yields further to sedation. Whether that state is experienced as therapeutic, recreational, or excessive depends on context, frequency, and individual physiology. From a neuroscience perspective, Quaaludes weren't magical. They were effective at pushing the brain toward inhibition in a way that felt tangible and embodied. Understanding the receptor dynamics explains both the appeal and the boundaries of safe use. And that is going to be it for our substance safety episode on Quaaludes. I loved making this one, and I do hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, a like and a subscribe would be fantastic. Comment letting me know if there's something specific you'd like to see covered next, whether in the series or on a different one. And if you have a story you'd like to share and have me read on the channel, submit it via my Instagram or Facebook, and I'll have it posted promptly. Stay frosty, stay curious, and as always, stay safe out there. And with that, I do of course hope to see all of you in the next one. Peace.